everybody, and welcome to the Healership Path. I'm Rita Hickman, and I'm joining you today from my secret lair in Illinois, one of my favorite places. I had to live in the woods in order to find a really great zen. It was one of the best moves I ever made. So anyways, I am Rita Hickman. Thanks for joining us, and this is the Healership Path. I am owner of Inspire Massage, and I'm a body-mind expert out of Northern Illinois, and I help women move along their path in life, help them navigate their life. I specialize in Asian medicine, and I specialize in helping women who've seen physical therapists, who've seen psychotherapists, who've gotten every sort of help that they've ever wanted to find, and it hasn't quite done the trick. That's when people usually come to me because I'm able to help them get results. Because I've spent my life obsessed and passionate about how the body-mind works, which is why I chose Asian medicine as well as indigenous medicines, because those were the most comprehensive, the most thorough healing practices that I've ever found. And so those are my specialty, and I use them to help women understand who they are, how their body works, and also give them the things that they need. So one of the things that all of us need are these videos, believe it or not. We all need places and people and new ideas where we can think outside of our box. We all need something that helps us look at the world a little bit differently so we can continue to grow. So the Healership Path is about women who are looking to heal themselves, looking to heal people that they love, or looking to start a healing practice of some sort. And this is a movement to help us all stay on track and move in the right direction, because as you see, our world is having a difficult time, and we need as many people who are in a healthy, balanced state of mind, who know how to care for themselves, who know how to help take care of the people that they love, so that we can really make a big difference in the world. So thank you. Today's topic is you're enlightened, so now what? Now, when I was a kid, I never realized that I was enlightened. And probably if you're watching this video, you were enlightened when you were very young too. Is that true? You always knew that there was something else going on, that this wasn't all there was, that the world was bigger than our family or what we saw. And we kept striving and looking to find those answers. And many of us struggled on our own. We went through the trenches. We, looked at all the things that we looked at ourselves with a microscope. We've seen probably plenty of counselors, plenty of therapists, plenty of ways to heal ourselves and energy workers to make ourselves a better person. So one of the things you should probably realize is you have been enlightened for a very, very long time. Now, enlightenment to me is that you are aware that you are aware. You're aware that this is a bigger world. You're aware that what you think and what you feel isn't all there is. You don't get caught up too often in the ego or in the surface mind. You're able to engage and look at the different levels and the different layers of life. You're able to see things with a much broader perspective. You probably have a highly sensitive nervous system, and you feel things and know things, and your intuition is so much better than the majority of people around you. So you've probably been woken up and enlightened for a very long time. So now what do? Once you realize that you're enlightened, once you realize that you do get it and a lot of other people don't, now is when the real fun begins. Because once you know that you know, then it doesn't change anything in your life. It doesn't change the world. You don't suddenly wake up one day, and even if you weren't enlightened from a very young age, even if you found enlightenment in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s, if you just woke up one day, nothing really changes in your life. What changes is what's inside of you, and what's inside of you changes how you see the world and how you look at the world. So with enlightenment, it's just knowing how screwed up you are. It's about knowing how many issues you have. Wow, the wind's really picking up for a moment here in my secret lair. Um, and that's when, because you know, you need to take responsibility for your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. You know, one of my favorite philosophers would say, in a relationship, the person who is more awake, the person who is more aware, is responsible for the direction or the quality of the relationship. Because you are awake, that gives you a very special level of responsibility, because you are going to see things and know things that other people don't. And there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that they don't realize, they haven't connected in to that deeper self, that higher power that they have. They aren't able to see the world in such an expanded sort of way. So, as someone who is enlightened, it's part of our responsibility to look at the world and see where the trends are going, see how we can bring kindness and peace and zen and understanding and mediation to such a complex world that we're living in. So being enlightened actually tends to give you more responsibility. It doesn't take the burden off. It means you can see yourself so much clearer than you ever could before. And now you know what your issues are. And now it's time to do something about it. You know, many women think that they're stuck, that this is it, that there's nothing that they can do. And in many philosophies, you know, there's that belief. You need to accept all that is. But what if all that is something even bigger? What if all that is the ability to change your beliefs, to change your paradigms, to change how you see the world? And because you change that inner stuff, because you change those inner beliefs, your life does change. Your body feels better. Your mind feels better. So what if everything that is, and an acceptance of everything that is, also includes an acceptance of the enormous power that you have to impact the world and to impact your life and how you live your life, including the things you think you have no control over, which are your body. You actually do. How we feel and our sense of self and our energy is not dependent on outside forces that we have no control over. We get to choose the environment that we live in. We get to choose what we fill our soul with. We get to choose whether we take care of ourselves or not. We see the bigger picture, and now we get to choose how we want to live our life. It's not only an enormous power, but what a beautiful gift. I would never want to give up the ability to see where I'm going, even though sometimes I know I'm heading for trouble. I see it coming, or I know that it's going to blindside me or hit me out of left field. I still want to have that awareness and that enlightenment. I don't want to numb myself out. I don't want to disconnect. I don't want to check out. Because as difficult as things can be, Asian medicine talks always about balance. And so as difficult as it can be, that means you also have that same level of joy. Your high level of sensitivity, your high level of awareness gives you the ability to see more beauty, to feel more love, to experience more in this world, and also to change your life. Enlightenment gives you the gift of being able to consciously make changes in who you are and how you work. It's absolutely beautiful. And when you take responsibility for that, and not responsibility in a negative way, people get all wrapped up in responsibility. It's scary. You know, responsibility is power. When you say, you know what? I have influence over this. I have power over this. There's something that I can do, and I'm going to figure it out. And figuring out to me is not sitting there problem solving it. Figuring out to me knows that if I breathe and I let go and I ask for an answer, the solution will come to me. Enlightenment doesn't mean that you figure everything out by yourself. Enlightenment means that you see a grander picture. You see community and love and hope and boundaries and yourself very clearly. That's what enlightenment is. So now is when you start taking those steps. And if you start with watching this video, which is one of those great steps, we're putting ideas into your mind. We're planting seeds to see the world differently. And nobody says I'm right. I totally don't say that I'm right. But what I do say is that let's start talking about it. Let's start thinking about these things, because that's how change happens. When we engage with people, when we open our mind, when we plant those seeds, our subconscious starts taking over and taking control and making these changes in how we see the world. And when you change how you see the world, when you see that there's hope, when you see that there's yin and yang, masculine and feminine energies, when you see truth, which is all that is, the good truth and the bad truth, when you see it all, that's when you have the power to navigate it. That's when you have the power to make decisions and to start asking for solutions. You aren't helpless. Enlightenment means you are not helpless. It means that finally, you've got the information and the chops that you need to make a big difference. So if you really want to change the world, and that's part of what enlightenment brings, it gives great responsibility and great power to make a big impact on the world. If you want to change the world, you start by watching these videos. You start by connecting with your tribe and getting new ideas. You start by feeding yourself, your body, with water and fiber, and managing your sugar, and feeding your heart with intimate relationships and conversation, and making time for that. Because when you make time for that, when you put that as a priority, that's when you change. And suddenly now the solutions come, and the willpower comes, and the wherewithal comes that you always wanted, whether it be to start a new career, whether it be to lose weight, whether it be to take better care of your kids, whether it be to change jobs, whether it be to talk back to your spouse, whether it be to face the demons and the challenges, whether it be to heal your family, whether it be to deal with the pain in your body, whatever it is. When you start with connecting, with getting those needs met, with which you now see them, because that's what enlightenment brings you. It brings you clarity of vision. So own it. You have clarity of vision, which means that now you can do something about it. And that is so, so exciting, and something I would not give the world up for. I would never want to go to a world where I functioned strictly on ego, because I didn't see everything else that was going on. I would never want to go back to being in a space where all I can feel is what I feel, that I have no power over that I feel that I'm a victim to the world around me. When you have that little observer that's able to talk to you and say, oh, isn't that interesting what you're going through? How fascinating. What do you want to do about that? Gee, maybe I'll ask for a solution. When you have that observer, that's that enlightenment. When you have that and you know that, now you can bring rationality into your life. You can balance how you feel with how you think. And then you also bring in that spirituality, which is that asking for help, whether it be from you, and your whole self and all the organisms that live in your body and talk to you and have opinions, or whether it's be asking for help from a tribe or a community, or asking for help from something that's very mysterious and unknown. That's part of enlightenment. That's part of growing and making a contribution. We as healers, we think we're isolated. We think that we're separate. And it feels like we are, because it's in a minority. But we're not. We are a movement, and we're starting to change the world. And you are enlightened. You are there. And now it's time to own it, to believe it, to love it, to take that power that you have and make the most of it, and really start making a difference in the world. And that starts with healing yourself and all of those beliefs and all of those ideas that get in the way of you not being whole, you not knowing your wholeness. So it's time to start reclaiming those parts of your soul, and enlightenment helps you do that. It's time to start shifting those beliefs and purposely deciding who you want to be and how you want to live, and also seeing the world in a much bigger picture. In a bigger picture where you see both the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the positive and the difficult, where you see it all. And it's okay. Don't even be judgmental about your judgmentalism. It's about accepting what is and saying, now what do I want to do with this? This is how it is. This is truth. This is reality. How do I want to engage with it? What do I want to do next? And how can it benefit me no matter what it is? So, you are enlightened. Now what? Now is when you get to change the world. And I hope you join me. So go to inspiremassage.com if you would love to join the tribe. I send out daily emails to keep us all on track, as well as free membership into the Healership path. I'm so happy that you joined me today, and I hope you have a delicious rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye.